Hello everyone and welcome to the Health 999 channel. Today, we're going to talk about a very important issue for those who have thyroid disease. 10 foods that people with thyroid disease should avoid eating. If you or someone close to you is dealing with thyroid issues, this video will be very helpful. Let's dive in to learn how to protect your health. 1. Kale and cruciferous vegetables. Cruciferous vegetables, such as kale, broccoli, cauliflower, and cabbage, are packed with nutrients and are often praised for their health benefits. However, for individuals with thyroid disease, these vegetables might pose some concerns, especially when consumed in large quantities. Let's dive deeper into why these foods may be problematic for those with thyroid issues and how they affect the thyroid gland. Cruciferous vegetables contain substances known as goitrogens, which are compounds that can interfere with thyroid function. Goitrogens block the absorption of iodine, a crucial nutrient for the production of thyroid hormones. The thyroid gland relies on iodine to produce hormones that regulate metabolism, growth, and energy levels. When the body's ability to absorb iodine is inhibited, it can lead to an enlarged thyroid, a condition known as goiter, which is often associated with hypothyroidism, an underactive thyroid. Over time, this can worsen thyroid dysfunction and make it harder to manage the condition. While cruciferous vegetables do have health benefits, such as being high in fiber, antioxidants, and vitamins, people with thyroid disease need to be mindful of how much they consume. It's important to understand that cooking these vegetables can significantly reduce their goitrogenic effects. Steaming, boiling, or stir-frying cruciferous vegetables can lower the levels of goitrogens, making them safer to eat in moderation for people with thyroid issues. For instance, kale is still a highly nutritious vegetable, offering a good amount of vitamin K, calcium, and iron, but individuals with thyroid conditions should aim to eat it cooked rather than raw. It's also worth noting that not everyone with thyroid disease will experience negative effects from eating cruciferous vegetables. The impact of goitrogens varies from person to person, depending on their thyroid condition, iodine levels, and overall diet. Some people may be able to tolerate small amounts of these vegetables without any issues. If you have hypothyroidism or another thyroid disorder, it's a good idea to monitor your symptoms and consult with your healthcare provider to determine what foods are best for your specific situation. In general, moderation is key. If you have thyroid disease, it's not necessary to eliminate cruciferous vegetables from your diet entirely. Instead, focus on balance. Try to incorporate a variety of other vegetables and foods that support thyroid health, such as those rich in iodine, selenium, and zinc, which are essential for thyroid function. Eating a balanced, nutrient-dense diet, along with proper thyroid medication management, can help you maintain optimal thyroid health and overall well-being. In conclusion, while cruciferous vegetables like kale are incredibly nutritious, it's essential for individuals with thyroid conditions to approach them with caution. Cooking these vegetables and consuming them in moderate amounts can help mitigate the potential negative effects. Always listen to your body and consult a healthcare provider to create a diet that supports your thyroid health. 2. Milk and dairy products. Milk and dairy products, such as cheese, yogurt, and cream, are common foods in many people's diets. However, for those with thyroid disease, dairy products can cause some serious issues, especially for those with Hashimoto's disease or other autoimmune thyroid disorders. Some studies suggest that dairy products may increase inflammation levels in the body and disrupt thyroid function. One of the main reasons people with thyroid disease should avoid dairy is that milk can increase the levels of antibodies against the thyroid, particularly in the case of Hashimoto's disease. When the body has an immune response to the proteins in milk, it can lead to inflammation and further damage to the thyroid. Hashimoto's disease is an autoimmune condition where the body's immune system attacks the thyroid cells. Therefore, consuming inflammatory foods like dairy can worsen the condition. Additionally, many people with thyroid disease have trouble digesting lactose, the sugar found in milk. This can lead to digestive issues such as bloating, discomfort, or diarrhea. These problems not only make daily life more challenging, but also reduce the overall quality of life for those affected. Furthermore, milk and dairy products can also affect the absorption of thyroid medication. People taking medication for thyroid disease, such as levothyroxine, should be particularly mindful of the timing of their medication and dairy consumption. Some studies suggest that milk can reduce the absorption of thyroid medication, making the treatment less effective. So, if you or someone you know has thyroid disease, consider replacing milk with lactose-free products or plant-based milks like almond milk, coconut milk, or soy milk. These milk alternatives do not contain lactose and are less likely to cause inflammatory reactions, making them easier to digest. Moreover, they also provide important nutrients like vitamin D and calcium, which support bone and heart health without affecting the thyroid. In conclusion, while milk and dairy products can be an important part of a healthy diet, for those with thyroid disease, reducing or eliminating dairy from the diet can offer significant benefits. If you suspect that dairy is affecting your thyroid health, consult with a doctor or nutritionist to make the best decision for your condition. 3. Soy and soy products. Soy is a plant-based protein source commonly used in various dishes, from soy milk, tofu, to processed foods. Soy not only provides protein but also contains other nutrients like fiber, vitamins, and minerals. However, for people with thyroid disease, soy may not be the ideal choice, especially when consumed in large amounts or regularly. One of the main reasons soy is considered a food to avoid for people with thyroid disease is because it contains isoflavones, a group of phytoestrogens that act like estrogen in the body. Studies have shown that isoflavones can affect thyroid function by hindering the production of thyroid hormones, particularly when the diet is deficient in iodine. In addition, soy also contains goitrogens, compounds that can interfere with the thyroid's ability to absorb iodine. Iodine is an essential mineral for the thyroid as it helps produce thyroid hormones. A deficiency in iodine can lead to hypothyroidism or worsen existing thyroid conditions. Moreover, soy products such as soy milk and tofu may reduce the effectiveness of thyroid medication. Some thyroid medications, especially those containing levothyroxine, need to be absorbed fully to work effectively. Consuming too much soy may affect the absorption of this medication, leading to hormone imbalance in the body. However, this doesn't mean you need to completely eliminate soy from your diet. Balance is key. If you have thyroid disease, it's best to consume soy in moderation and pay attention to how it's prepared. Some experts suggest that cooking soybeans can reduce the impact of goitrogens, helping minimize the negative effects on the thyroid. Additionally, if you are on thyroid medication, make sure to take your medication at a different time than when you consume soy, as eating soy immediately after taking medication may reduce its absorption. Finally, if you're unsure whether consuming soy affects your health, it's best to consult with a doctor or nutritionist. They will help guide you in making the right decisions based on your specific condition. 4. Processed foods and high-sugar foods. Processed foods and foods high in sugar can be especially detrimental for individuals with thyroid disease. These foods, which often include packaged snacks, fast food, sugary drinks, and ready-made meals, are not only low in essential nutrients but can also contribute to various health issues, including weight gain, inflammation, and blood sugar imbalances. For individuals with thyroid disorders, particularly hypothyroidism, an underactive thyroid, consuming processed foods can exacerbate symptoms. People with hypothyroidism often struggle with weight management, and eating processed foods, which are typically high in unhealthy fats and refined carbohydrates, can make it even more difficult to maintain a healthy weight. These foods are often calorie-dense but nutritionally poor, providing little in terms of vitamins, minerals, or fiber, which are crucial for optimal thyroid function. In addition to promoting weight gain, processed foods can trigger inflammation in the body, which is a concern for those with autoimmune thyroid conditions such as Hashimoto's thyroiditis. Chronic inflammation can make the immune system more active and potentially worsen thyroid dysfunction. Processed foods often contain additives, preservatives, and artificial ingredients that can stimulate inflammation and interfere with the body's ability to function optimally. High-sugar foods also play a significant role in exacerbating thyroid-related symptoms. Consuming large amounts of sugar can cause insulin resistance, a condition where the body's cells do not respond to insulin as effectively. This leads to higher levels of insulin in the bloodstream, which can cause fat storage and contribute to weight gain. For individuals with thyroid disease, managing blood sugar levels is crucial, as imbalanced blood sugar can further disrupt thyroid function and lead to fatigue, mood swings, and other symptoms. In addition, when blood sugar levels spike due to high sugar intake, the body releases insulin to bring those levels back down. However, the constant fluctuations between high and low blood sugar can stress the adrenal glands, which are already under strain in individuals with thyroid disease. Over time, this can result in adrenal fatigue, further compounding the problems faced by those with thyroid disorders. What to do instead? To manage thyroid disease more effectively, it's essential to focus on whole, unprocessed foods. Fresh vegetables, lean proteins, healthy fats, and complex carbohydrates should form the basis of your diet. Opt for foods that are rich in antioxidants, such as berries, and those high in healthy fats like avocado and olive oil, as they can help reduce inflammation and support overall health. Additionally, try to limit your intake of sugary snacks, soda, and processed foods. By making these changes, you'll be better able to maintain balanced blood sugar levels, support thyroid health, and reduce the risk of complications. In summary, processed foods and high-sugar foods not only lack essential nutrients but also contribute to weight gain, inflammation, and blood sugar imbalances, all of which can worsen thyroid disease. Making healthier dietary choices is key to managing and alleviating the symptoms of thyroid conditions, leading to improved overall well-being. 5. Gluten. Gluten is a type of protein found in wheat, barley, and rye. It's commonly found in many types of bread, pasta, cereals, and baked goods. For most people, gluten is not a problem, but for individuals with thyroid disease, particularly those with autoimmune thyroid conditions like Hashimoto's thyroiditis or Graves' disease, gluten can be a serious concern. Research has shown that there is a connection between autoimmune diseases, such as those affecting the thyroid, and gluten sensitivity. When someone with an autoimmune thyroid disorder consumes gluten, their immune system may mistakenly attack the thyroid gland, worsening symptoms and even triggering an autoimmune response. This is because the body can't properly differentiate between the proteins in gluten and the proteins in the thyroid, leading to inflammation and further damage to the thyroid gland. In addition, many people with thyroid conditions often experience gut health issues. The gastrointestinal system can become more sensitive, and gluten can contribute to gut inflammation, making it harder for the body to absorb essential nutrients. For individuals with thyroid disease, poor nutrient absorption can exacerbate symptoms such as fatigue, weight gain, and poor skin health. Another important aspect to consider is that many gluten-containing foods are also highly processed and low in nutritional value. This can lead to deficiencies in essential vitamins and minerals that are crucial for thyroid health. For example, vitamin D, selenium, and zinc are all vital nutrients that support proper thyroid function, and they are commonly found in foods that do not contain gluten. By choosing a gluten-free diet, individuals may naturally increase their intake of healthier, more nutrient-dense foods. The good news is that many people with thyroid disease report improvements in their symptoms when they eliminate gluten from their diets. These improvements can include better energy levels, improved mood, and reduced inflammation. While going gluten-free may seem challenging at first, there are plenty of delicious alternatives available, including gluten-free grains like quinoa, rice, and oats, as well as gluten-free bread and pasta options. However, it's important to remember that going gluten-free is not a cure for thyroid disease. It's just one part of a larger strategy to manage the condition. If you're considering a gluten-free diet, it's always a good idea to consult with a healthcare professional or a registered dietitian who can help guide you in making the right choices for your health. By being mindful of gluten in your diet, you can help reduce unnecessary stress on your thyroid and support better overall health. 6. Fried foods and oily foods. Fried foods and those rich in unhealthy oils can have a significant negative impact on overall health, especially for people with thyroid disorders. These foods typically contain high levels of trans fats and saturated fats, both of which can contribute to inflammation in the body. Inflammation is a key factor that exacerbates the symptoms of thyroid conditions such as hypothyroidism and hyperthyroidism. When the body is dealing with ongoing inflammation, it can make it more difficult for the thyroid to function properly. One of the primary concerns with fried foods is their high calorie content, which can lead to weight gain. This is especially problematic for individuals with thyroid disease, as one of the most common symptoms of hypothyroidism, an underactive thyroid, is weight gain. Thyroid hormones play a significant role in regulating metabolism, and when the thyroid is not functioning correctly, the body's ability to burn calories efficiently is hindered. Eating fried foods and foods high in unhealthy oils can worsen weight gain and make it more challenging to manage body weight. Additionally, the oils used in frying, such as vegetable oil, soybean oil, and palm oil, are often high in omega-6 fatty acids. While omega-6 fatty acids are essential for the body, an excess of them, especially when not balanced with omega-3 fatty acids, can promote inflammation. This imbalance can worsen autoimmune thyroid conditions like Hashimoto's thyroiditis, where the body's immune system mistakenly attacks the thyroid gland. Fried foods also tend to be low in essential nutrients, which can further contribute to nutrient deficiencies in individuals with thyroid disease. For example, deficiencies in iodine, zinc, and selenium are common among people with thyroid issues, and consuming foods that are high in unhealthy fats can displace more nutrient-dense options in the diet, worsening these deficiencies. Another issue with fried foods is their potential to interfere with the absorption of thyroid medication. For individuals taking medication to regulate their thyroid function, it is crucial to maintain a healthy diet that supports the medication's effectiveness. High-fat meals, especially those rich in fried foods, can delay or reduce the absorption of thyroid medication, preventing it from working as efficiently as it should. To support thyroid health and improve overall well-being, it is essential to limit the intake of fried and overly oily foods. Instead, focus on incorporating healthy fats into your diet, such as those found in avocados, olive oil, nuts, and seeds. These healthier fat sources can help reduce inflammation, improve metabolism, and support better thyroid function. In conclusion, while indulging in fried foods may be tempting, individuals with thyroid disease should be mindful of their fat intake, especially unhealthy fats found in fried foods. Making the switch to healthier cooking methods, such as baking, steaming, or grilling, can help promote better thyroid health and overall wellness. 7. Caffeine. Caffeine is a natural stimulant commonly found in coffee, tea, energy drinks, and certain sodas. While it can provide an energy boost and help with mental alertness, it can have negative effects on individuals with thyroid disease, particularly those who are undergoing treatment for hypothyroidism or hyperthyroidism. For people with thyroid issues, caffeine can interfere with medication absorption, disrupt sleep patterns, and even exacerbate symptoms of the disease. One of the main concerns with caffeine for people with thyroid disease is its potential to affect the absorption of thyroid hormone replacement medications. These medications, such as levothyroxine, are commonly prescribed to individuals with hypothyroidism to help regulate thyroid hormone levels in the body. However, studies have shown that consuming caffeine shortly after taking thyroid medication can reduce the effectiveness of the medication, making it harder for the body to absorb the necessary thyroid hormone. If you are taking thyroid medication, it is recommended that you wait at least 30 minutes to an hour after taking your medication before consuming any caffeinated beverages. This allows your body time to absorb the medication properly and ensures that you get the full benefit of your treatment. For some individuals, even longer periods between medication and caffeine consumption may be necessary to prevent interference. Aside from affecting medication absorption, caffeine can also impact sleep, which is crucial for thyroid health. Many people with thyroid disease already experience sleep disturbances, whether it's insomnia or excessive tiredness, due to the imbalance of thyroid hormones. Caffeine is a stimulant that can disrupt sleep, especially if consumed later in the day. A poor night's sleep can worsen symptoms of thyroid disease, including fatigue, irritability, and mood swings. Therefore, limiting caffeine intake, particularly in the afternoon and evening, can help improve sleep quality and overall well-being. Furthermore, caffeine can have a stimulating effect on the nervous system, which may increase symptoms such as anxiety or palpitations in individuals with thyroid disorders. This is especially true for those with hyperthyroidism, where an overactive thyroid can already lead to heightened heart rate and feelings of nervousness. Adding caffeine to the mix can amplify these symptoms and make them more difficult to manage. In addition, some research suggests that high caffeine consumption may have an impact on the autoimmune process in thyroid diseases like Hashimoto's thyroiditis or Graves' disease. While the evidence is not conclusive, it's best to err on the side of caution and limit caffeine intake to avoid potentially aggravating the autoimmune response. Ultimately, the key is moderation. While it's not necessary to completely eliminate caffeine from your diet, being mindful of when and how much you consume can help manage your thyroid disease and improve your overall health. If you find it difficult to reduce caffeine, consider switching to decaffeinated alternatives or herbal teas that are gentler on your system. 8. Foods high in sugar and trans fats. When it comes to thyroid health, the impact of diet cannot be overstated. One of the most significant contributors to thyroid dysfunction is the consumption of foods high in sugar and trans fats. These types of foods not only affect your overall health but can also directly influence the functioning of your thyroid. Sugar is one of the most harmful ingredients when it comes to thyroid health. High sugar intake can cause spikes in blood sugar levels, which in turn leads to an increase in insulin production. This can cause a number of metabolic issues, including weight gain, which is a common problem for those with thyroid conditions, particularly hypothyroidism. Additionally, excessive sugar can lead to inflammation, which may exacerbate autoimmune thyroid disorders like Hashimoto's thyroiditis. Chronic high sugar intake can also interfere with the absorption of essential nutrients that are crucial for proper thyroid function, such as iodine, selenium, and zinc. When these nutrients are deficient, the thyroid gland cannot produce the hormones it needs to regulate metabolism and energy levels effectively. This can further contribute to symptoms like fatigue, weight gain, and mood swings, common in people with thyroid problems. Trans fats, on the other hand, are a type of artificial fat commonly found in processed foods, margarine, baked goods, and fast food. These fats are not only bad for your heart, but also for your thyroid. Trans fats increase levels of bad LDL cholesterol in the body, which can increase the risk of cardiovascular disease. But their negative effects don't stop there. Trans fats also promote inflammation, which can damage thyroid cells and inhibit the proper functioning of the thyroid gland. Studies have shown that diets high in trans fats can disrupt the balance of hormones in the body, leading to issues with thyroid function. In particular, they can interfere with the production of thyroid hormones, leading to symptoms like weight gain, sluggish metabolism, and even depression. For people already struggling with thyroid disease, these fats can worsen symptoms and make it harder to manage the condition. Not only do these foods harm thyroid health, but they also contribute to a general decline in overall well-being. Trans fats are linked to a range of health issues, including obesity, diabetes, and heart disease. For individuals with thyroid conditions, consuming these fats regularly can make it even more challenging to maintain a healthy weight and energy levels. What to do instead? To support thyroid health, it's important to focus on a diet that's rich in whole foods, such as vegetables, fruits, lean proteins, and healthy fats like those found in nuts, seeds, and fatty fish. Replace sugary snacks and processed foods with natural, nutrient-dense options to help balance your blood sugar and support healthy hormone levels. Additionally, choose healthy fats like olive oil, avocado, and coconut oil instead of trans fats to reduce inflammation and promote better thyroid function. In conclusion, avoiding foods high in sugar and trans fats is essential for managing thyroid health. By making mindful food choices, you can support your thyroid function and improve your overall well-being. If you are uncertain about what foods to avoid, it's always a good idea to consult with a healthcare provider or a nutritionist for personalized guidance. 9. Types of seeds like flax seeds and chia seeds. Flax seeds and chia seeds are often considered superfoods due to their high content of omega-3 fatty acids, fiber, and essential minerals. However, when it comes to thyroid health, they may not be the best choice for individuals with thyroid conditions, particularly for those with an autoimmune thyroid disorder like Hashimoto's disease. Both flax seeds and chia seeds are rich in lignans, which are a type of phytoestrogen, plant-derived compounds that resemble estrogen in the body. Lignans have been shown to interfere with thyroid function by potentially binding to thyroid hormone receptors. This can reduce the effectiveness of thyroid hormones in the body, making it harder to maintain proper thyroid function. While these seeds provide numerous health benefits, such as improving heart health, lowering cholesterol, and supporting digestion, they can also pose risks for individuals with thyroid disease if consumed in excess. Flax seeds, in particular, contain alpha-linolenic acid, ALA, a plant-based omega-3 fatty acid, which is known for its anti-inflammatory properties. However, some studies suggest that excessive consumption of ALA could disrupt thyroid hormone production and worsen symptoms of hypothyroidism or other thyroid imbalances. Chia seeds, like flax seeds, are high in fiber and omega-3 fatty acids. While they don't contain as much lignin as flax seeds, they still contain some. These seeds are typically seen as a healthier option for the general population, but those with thyroid issues should still be cautious about how much they consume, especially in large quantities. Why are these seeds a concern? The main concern lies in the goitrogenic effects of these seeds. Goitrogens are compounds that can interfere with iodine absorption, an essential mineral for thyroid hormone production. When iodine absorption is blocked, it can result in an enlarged thyroid, goiter, and exacerbate thyroid disorders. Although the goitrogenic properties of flax seeds and chia seeds are relatively mild compared to other foods like cruciferous vegetables, it's still a factor to consider, especially if you have an existing thyroid condition. How to safely include flax seeds and chia seeds in your diet. If you love flax seeds and chia seeds and don't want to eliminate them from your diet completely, moderation is key. You can continue to enjoy these seeds by consuming them in smaller portions, such as adding 1 or 2 teaspoons to smoothies, oatmeal, or salads. Additionally, cooking or roasting these seeds can help reduce their goitrogenic effects. However, it's always a good idea to monitor your thyroid health closely and consult with your healthcare provider or a nutritionist to determine the best dietary approach for you. In conclusion, while flax seeds and chia seeds offer numerous health benefits, including supporting heart health, improving digestion, and providing omega-3 fatty acids, they may not be the best choice for individuals with thyroid disease if consumed in large quantities. By consuming them in moderation and ensuring a well-balanced diet, you can still enjoy their health benefits while managing your thyroid health effectively. 10. Foods high in iodine. Iodine is an essential mineral that the thyroid gland needs to produce hormones. These hormones help regulate metabolism, heart rate, body temperature, and many other important functions. In fact, iodine deficiency is one of the most common causes of hypothyroidism, a condition where the thyroid doesn't produce enough hormones. So, it's natural to think that eating more iodine would always be a good thing, right? Well, not necessarily. While iodine is crucial for thyroid health, too much iodine can be just as harmful as too little, especially for people who already have thyroid conditions like Hashimoto's thyroiditis or Graves' disease. In these cases, consuming excess iodine can trigger or worsen autoimmune attacks on the thyroid gland. This can lead to inflammation, hormone imbalance, and even long-term damage to the thyroid. So, what kinds of foods are high in iodine? The most concentrated sources include seaweed. Just 1 sheet of dried seaweed can contain several times the recommended daily intake of iodine. Iodized salt, a common source of iodine in the American diet, but also easy to overconsume. Dairy products. Milk, cheese, and yogurt often contain iodine because of the iodine used in cattle feed and milking equipment. Seafood, fish, shrimp, and other shellfish are naturally rich in iodine. Eggs, especially the yolks, as they contain trace amounts of iodine. If you're dealing with a thyroid disorder, particularly an autoimmune thyroid disease, you might want to limit your intake of these foods, not eliminate them entirely, but be mindful of how much you consume. Your body needs a balanced amount of iodine, not too much, not too little. Another thing to consider is that iodine is often added to multivitamins and supplements. If you're taking thyroid medication or other health supplements, check the labels carefully to avoid an accidental iodine overload. What should you do? Talk to your doctor or an endocrinologist before making major changes to your diet. They might recommend a blood test to check your current iodine levels and thyroid function. Based on the results, they can guide you on whether you need more iodine, less, or just need to maintain your current level. In conclusion, while iodine is essential for thyroid health, too much of it can do more harm than good. So, be cautious with high iodine foods, especially if you have a thyroid condition. Eating smart and staying informed is one of the best ways to support your thyroid and your overall well-being. Thank you for watching the video. We hope the information about the foods that people with thyroid disease should avoid will help you make better decisions in taking care of your health. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with your friends. See you in the next video with more useful health tips.